I'm Simon, this is Space Coast Woodcraft. I have changed the name of my channel because I did want it to look a little more professional. I don't pretend to be a great woodworker, but if you want to follow along and join along the journey with me in learning woodworking, that's what this channel is going to be about. Let me show you what we're going to get into today. Right here I have my flip top planer and my router here on top. The router worked well, but I do need to make some revisions because I made this when I was just starting out about 2 years ago, and by now I've learned a lot more, and I want to get this more flat and more true across the top. So here's what I'm going to try to do. I want to use as many existing parts on this as I can. So I'm going to continue to try to use the sides. I'm going to try to use the plexiglass plate that I have right here. Unfortunately, I have epoxied these T-track in, so I'll have to get some more T-track. The changes are going to be an MDF top, so it's super flat, and I'm going to try to make an adjustable height plate in here without having to buy the plates online. This is glued along these seams. I'm going to try to take my table saw and cut this top off so I can reuse these sides. We'll see how that goes. Now the tools I'm working with out here are going to be about the cheapest that you can find. I've got a wind planer and I've also got a wind jointer. It's on the way. I'll talk about that more when it gets here. We'll check it out, see how we like it. I've got the Skill 10-inch table saw. Has worked awesome for me. I do have a TSO upgraded fence. I built this bench myself. I've got a swivel top miter saw down below, and I've got some dust collection on the bottom. So here I've got this big piece of MDF pretty much marked out where I need to cut it. So let's get that cut out. Now what I'm going to do with this sitting on that swivel base, this sits up a little higher than I want it to. I won't be able to get it down as far as I want it, but I do want to take an inch and a half off so it will at least get it down some. My problem is obviously I'm in a 2-car garage, but half of it's filled up already. So I have to make room with the tools that I have. So that's why I have a lot of stuff on swivels. So let's get these cut down to size, get this back, start on this top plate. Now you might be asking me, Simon, how does your saw cut so well? And it's basically a $300 saw. Well, let me answer that. I'd love to. Where I am a beginner woodworker per se, as far as precision woodworking, I do have a background in cabinetry work. So I do know I need good blades and good equipment to go on the cheap stuff to make it work the best that I can. So that's what I've done. I run all CMT blades, and I've got some really good hand tools, but I do also have, majority of them is Ryobi. They work great for me. So if you want to do stuff on a budget and you're still watching, I appreciate it. We'll go along on this journey together. Okay, what I've done here is I've made the blocks to make the insert here adjustable. So I'm going to make it just like the rockler, just like the Jessam. It's going to go up under the corner in the bottom. It's going to have a screw. You're going to be able to adjust this plate to meet perfect. I will take a router and router these out. It'll fit up in there flush. Now I've fixed these 2 pieces down here with some double-sided tape so they're not going anywhere. I've got a little triangle cut out here. I'm going to try to take these edges off so this will reset in the main big plate here. Okay, that took me about 3 passes with the router to get down in there. I took about half the depth of the material. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my chisels and I'm going to clean all the edges up, and that'll be one. Then I'll do the others like I did this one. My old DeWalt chisels, now that I've learned how to sharpen them, working pretty well for a budget chisel. Oh yeah, the good old 5-in-1. My 5 holes in your 1 piece of wood, right? Man, that tape holds really well. Now if you can see this profile, you can kind of see how that goes. The other edges of the wood go here. This will fasten on the outside. Put some screws in here to hold it up under the main plate. Then when we get to that point, I'll put 2 adjustable screws in right here that'll adjust this and get it sitting in there just right. Let's get these other ones done. All right, I've got these 4 little adjustment blocks all cut and routed out, or the square cut in here for the plate to lay down in. Before we go any further with this and fix the hardware in this, I'm going to use a jigsaw first, and then I'm going to use a router. Now this jigsaw with the Festool blade in it works really good. I've cut out the center for the center plate, which is I think 1/4 inch thick plexiglass. I've got my adjustment blocks, which this is the bottom. If you'll look, it's got this little space, so these will go here. And I've got my bolts here in with the anchor nuts. And I've also got a lock nut on here, so when I get it where I set where I want it, I can lock it. What I decided to do, so it's not metal touching on this plexiglass, scratching it up, maybe cracking it, I have put a little bit of this Plasti Dip. I've never used it, first time I've seen it, just on the tip of these bolts here, so when I go up and touch, it'll be a nice easy kind of cushion touch, but you don't want too much cushion, barely any at all, because you don't want that plate flexing while it's down here. So these will go in here like this. Bear in mind, again, this is the bottom. These will all go in here. Put the plate on from the other side. I'll screw these down and affix it to this, and then put the plate on the other side, and should be good to go. And I don't think I will need any other supports in here, because this is a relatively small square and these are spread out a pretty good way. So we're going to get it put in there and see if that flexes too much, see if I need some more support, but I think it'll be okay because this is pretty rigid. One of the last things I've got to do is take the top, route out my channels for my T-track. This is the fence that I had for the other one. I'll be able to use this fence with this one. So I'll route out the channels for the T-track, so this will be able to hold my fence, be able to slide it, be adjustable. Let's get these routed out, get the T-track epoxied in there, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, I've just finished cutting my T-track for the top plate. Let me get my miter saw out of the way. Pretty handy to have this miter saw on a flip like this. Just like that. Now, one thing I do find difficult every now and then is when you have the router bit in here and you want to get it perfectly centered on your line to make that router channel. If you know a better way of centering this and getting an exact center, let me know. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out a piece of scrap wood. My straight edge here, I'm going to clamp this to the scrap piece of wood. I'm going to make a channel, then I'm going to measure to the edge of that channel and to the edge of the router bit groove and see what that measurement is and put it on the edge here. And if you look in T-track, there's a little bitty center line right in the middle of the T-track. So I have a little bit, so I just mark a center line down here. I put this center line, line it up with a center line on my board, and mark out where the T-track's gonna be. So that will give me, when I get my measurement off of my scrap board, I'll just measure to the edge, and that'll get me exactly where I need to be, and Bob's your uncle, or your mom's brother, whatever you want to call it. I've got my T-track in there epoxied down with Star Bond. That's just what I usually use. While that's setting up all the way, I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to put those adjustable flanges in there. And when I'm screwing into MDF, I always just use a screwdriver so don't wind up and strip the board. And I also use a little bit of super glue down in the hole just for added security. Whether that helps or not, I don't know. I'd like to think it does. It's in the hole. It's in the hole.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole. It's in the hole.
Caddyshack. one of the best movies ever. All right, see, this is from the top. I'll just have my adjustment screws here. It's just like the, you know, the ones you buy from the store. Just like it. Let's see how this fits in here. Oh yeah, adjustment is good. Pretty smooth. One thing I am gonna watch out for is the flex on this. I should be good, I think, but it's in. All right, I'm gonna get a couple of screws, a few screws, and fasten it down here to the wood inside there, and then we'll get it mounted up. Okay, I'll give you a good look at it. Here, got my T-track in. You can see my adjustment screws, the little rubber ends on it. And it's looking pretty flat right now. This is how the back looks. And, you know, in the future, I might put some, you know, some other little holders right here to flatten this out just a little bit. But I think it'll work all right now with what I want to do, because it doesn't have too much flex. You know, usually the workload's going to be spread across almost the whole surface. I've determined that my fence slides in there perfectly. Got my table put back together. Let's get this router top fitted on. Much better and a much flatter table. It was exactly the goal, was to get a more flat. I only lowered it 1 inch. You know, sometimes inches make a big difference, and I think this did, man. But that main thing is it being so flat with MDF. I think it's gonna work out great. If you guys like what you see, you wanna go on the journey with me, hit that like, subscribe, share button, and more videos to come.